you're looking at me a bit puzzled, saying, well, hang on, Chelsea in the market for yet another winger after what they've done already so far this summer. But yeah, another one.
Let's pick up on that, because look at this graphic. This is extraordinary, because these are the options that Chelsea have from an attacking perspective. I've counted 4, 7, 11, 16 attackers in the Chelsea squad at the moment. Who leaves, Mark?
Well, looking at that graphic, first thing that came to me was they've got 4 number 9s essentially. If you count João Pedro as a number 9, Enzo Maresca said a couple of weeks ago he wanted to go into the season with 2 out-and-out number 9s. So you'd imagine that Broja and Nicholas Jackson possibly would certainly be ones that might depart. Obviously, Broja's been out on loan, had his injury problems. Nicholas Jackson with a couple of red cards. There is interest in him from a number of sides in La Liga as well, so that would be one to keep an eye on. Out wide, Raheem Sterling went on loan to Arsenal last season. One of the sort of final players to come in under the Abramovich regime and Marina Granovskaya. One of those players, very highly paid, probably a little bit out of sync with the other players that Todd Boehly has signed with regards to wages. So you'd imagine there'd be an exit looking likely for Raheem Sterling. We know that there's been interest in Noni Madueke. We've been talking about just there. João Felix, I didn't even know that he was still a Chelsea player. He spent so much time out on loan. You'd imagine they'd try and find a permanent solution for him to leave over the course of this summer. It's fascinating when you look at how many options Enzo Maresca has within that Chelsea setup. You get the feeling that they have to do some business. They have to sell players now. And that's something that they've certainly been very good at over the course of the last few windows.
I would say Neto, Esteval obviously is a new signing. They'll definitely be there. Palmer will be there. Gittins, of course, a new signing. George got a bit of an opportunity last season. Will they try and see if he can get more regular first team football elsewhere, or will they continue to integrate him into that first team? And then Liam Delap, of course, and João Pedro. The rest of those names, you could actually see Chelsea, if good enough offers were to come in for those players, they would definitely have a look. Now, people will say Chelsea will probably need to start selling, because the question I keep getting asked when I talk about Chelsea is how they're seemingly able to spend and spend and spend all this money bringing in all of these players. Do they actually need to sell?
They don't need to sell. Funnily enough, actually, Chelsea, despite all of their spending over the last few windows, are one of those sides that have quite a lot of headroom when it comes to PSR. Now, there are 2 reasons for that. First and foremost, they've sold a lot of players that came through their academy or represented 100% profit with regards to PSR. So players like Mason Mount, who went to Manchester United for the best part of £60 million, that was 100% profit, £60 million. And they've been very clever at selling players that have come through their academy. They've obviously been very wise with regards to what they've done and how they've structured their accounts, the businesses that they've bought and sold around Chelsea Football Club. We know they sold the women's team as well, which has proved to be very fruitful and successful with regards to the accountancy situation. So therefore, actually, Chelsea can still spend money and they still have room with regards to PSR. But of course, they'll probably be getting these players in with a view to, actually, we're going to sell X, Y, and Z, and that's going to generate us 150 million in income. Therefore, we're very comfortable with our current situation. Winning the Champions League, getting to the latter stages of the competitions, playing in the Club World Cup. I think Carve, our football correspondent, said the other day that that's netted them so far around 60 to 70 million pounds just at this stage, now that they're in the semi-final. If they progress through to the final and win it, that will be around 100 million. So therefore, they're actually operating quite sustainably, sensibly, despite